Hey everyone, how's it going? I know it's been a while. In these last few weeks, it's been really difficult for me to get in the studio. We had the first AxieCon, and I hope to make a video on just that event itself. I have great photos to show you guys. One of the biggest highlights of AxieCon for me is that I officially joined the Quest team right here. And you may be wondering, Chuck Fresco, why did you choose Quest out of all these teams? The reason why I chose Quest is not only because they're involved in esports, they have some of the best players, including Spam and Rice, Meat Value, and Sequinox. They have a great leadership that I feel I get really along with. Like, a lot of them are really funny guys, but really smart guys. And also, Quest is really involved with the community with things like the creator program, which I myself am a part of. But I know what you guys are here for. You're here to hear about my #1 ranked team. I've been #1 for a couple of days now, and I'm so excited to share this team with you. It really came together this season, and I'm hoping it could continue on as the season progresses. With all that said, let's get started. All right, so let's look at the runes and charms of this build. As you can see right here, we're running 3 beasts, and I'll share exactly why. But let's go into our midliner here. My midliner is mainly my support, like DPSer, damage dealer. And basically, I'm just running Pure Instinct here. You could also run other things like Pure Power. It's exactly the same amount of damage increase. There's no difference, so if you really can't find the other one, this doesn't matter. You can just use this one, but I'm running this one just because I got it. It doesn't matter on that, or you can use Tough Strike as well. But as far as the cards that I use, it's using Little Branch right here. It's using the Ronin right here. It's using Cottontail, and of course, Innocent Lamb. And Innocent Lamb right here works perfectly with Cottontail. It allows you to get more energy per Axie, and that's really awesome to be able to use in this build. And of course, Little P is one of the strongest cards in the game right now. And this one, Axie Kiss, just for some targeting. So if you can get Innocent Lamb and Cottontail, you're golden. But getting all these other cards together might cost you a little bit, but overall, this is the kind of build you need. As far as the charms for this Axie, basically I'm running 2 Mask of Frenzies, one on the Little Peas and one on the Little Branch. And this is to get into Fury form faster. These are a little expensive right now, but since we have such a long season, I expect these to get more affordable as we get near the end. And as far as other runes, basically I'm running Vitality, usually all Vitality if I can't get anything else. But on this case, I'm actually running a Charm of Power right here on the Ronin to increase its damage and make this a really lethal attack when it hits with Ronin. As far as our tank right here, I'm using a Beast, mainly because of Pangolin Scale. This is one of the best rare runes in the game. It's very defensive and it's incredible. And basically with Beast being able to get HP charms, it makes it such a good tank. And as far as the cards that it's using, it's basically running Shiba right here. It's a very Shiba dependent deck. And Shiba, as you guys know, increases your rage stacks when this Axie takes hits. And it makes sense. If this is the tank at the front, it's going to get hit a lot and it's going to trigger this Shiba more often than not. It's running Little Peas again, one of the more staple cards for these Beast builds. It's running a Goda. Goda is amazing in the meta. It could cause your opponent a lot of problems late game if the matches are close. If they run into a Goda, it could be the end of their game. And of course, the other cards that I'm running, these two can be different. These don't have any really role. Like Dual Blade is just good for against shield decks like Reflectile. And this one could be any other card as long as it's Beast so it can keep its purity. But the back right here, Hero allows you to draw your deck faster, and drawing is so powerful in this game. And as far as the charms for this tank, basically all Vitality. As you play the game, you'll start getting more and more Vitality runes, so you can just keep upgrading till you get the more rare ones, and you can just make his HP go to its max amount, which is incredible for a Beast. So that's why it's important to keep your purity high so you get more potential points right there. And as far as our backliner, I'm using a semi-support, semi-closer right here for my back Axie. And why is that? So basically the rune I'm using is a Pangolin Scale as well for this one, making it very tanky. But why would you want to make your backliner tanky? Well, we got an eggshell on it. You could also use a cactus. And basically what this Axie does is that it draws damage to itself. And why do you want this Axie hurt? Well, very simple. It's running a Shiba as well. So this one gains rage stacks if it gets hurt. So by dividing out the damage your Axies get, it creates a really huge problem for your opponent. So they can't really focus down the front Axie. And this Axie, I made it into like a semi-support, semi-damage dealer. So I'm running Little P's right here. Confident is really great against Disables and Poison kind of builds. Amazing card for 0 cost, and it raises your rage stacks as well. Believer's the only one I'm a little bit iffy on, but it's great when there's things like Mavis to be able to hit it. It is really, really random, so it's not the most consistent card, but it could cause a lot of issues for your opponent. Eggshell, of course, is the standard, and Ronin, of course, does a lot of damage when you pair up a lot of these cards together, especially if you get into a Fury mode. A Fury mode Ronin does an insane amount of damage. It's crazy. And as far as the charms for this build, basically just get a lot of vitality charms, any of them that you can get to help this Axie live longer. But in this case, I got an extra Mask of Fury just for my crafting, and this is incredible. I just put it on the Little P's on this one, but you could also run more vitality as well. But Mask of Friendly on the last Axie gives it the ability to really go into Fury mode as well without needing all the other Axies. So it creates a situation where even this back Axie can become the closer of the team, and that's just incredible. Alright, so let's see this build in action. I'm going to go first in this game. And as you can see, we're playing against a team that's using a Pangolin, of course, to defend itself. It's using a double Aqua with double Bloodlust runes right here. Very hard team to beat. It's even running this to counter Pangolin as well, the Shoal Star. Pretty crazy team. Has a bubble pace. It has a lot of stuff going on for it. A pretty expensive build in itself. And of course, a lot of resistance, Goda and stuff going on here. So let's see how we play this out. So here we go. We start off. I get the Innocent Lamb. I go and make a Cottontail. I basically am trying to get as much damage on this frontliner as possible, since it's really tanky with that Pangolin scale right there. My opponent does AoE. I think that's probably the worst he could do against this team, because this whole team gains stacks with Shiba. But anyways, I don't know his strat. Basically, I go in for a hero, and hero allows me to get a Little P's, and a Little P's early against a Pangolin is chaos. It's so destructive for it. So this one might die next turn already just from that draw, and my opponent is playing catch up right now. Basically hitting into me, raising up his bubbles, trying to lower the damage of this one by giving it weak, and he even got a Cottontail. He's so lucky on that one. And he hits into me with his Goldfish. Not much happens right there. As you can see, I'm going to draw the Little Branch. It's going to increase my rage stacks right here. Just going, and I use the Eggshell to draw damage away from this guy. I'm trying to keep this one alive right here. But let's see what he does. He draws an amazing hand right here with Nemo. And Nemos are good and bad, because you see it's putting in a Confused in his deck, and that might come back to haunt him later. He's using Risky Fish, and he has enough damage with the Bloodlust to kill my Axie right there. He did it. This usually would be a bad game right here for me, but of course my deck is not meant just for that back Axie. I get into Rage mode right here, and you're going to see the power of Rage mode with Ronin. Hit a Goda with it, and I'm going to go in for an attack right here because I know his HP is low enough for me to do this. 253 damage right there. It's done, and I basically just try to hit as much damage as I can on this Axie right here. Of course, I ran in the Goda. As you can see, the Goda was drawn immediately. Void is right there. And basically, he drew almost nothing on this hand. And he drew a Nemo as well. And the Confused from before is coming back to haunt him. He doesn't have enough damage to kill this Axie. It has 6 Furies, 6 Rage stacks right here. And oh my gosh, Shiba gets drawn. He goes into Rage mode right here. Boom, hits him with Rage mode. And he still has one more. Boom, GG. No re on that play. As you can see, this deck has the potential to do so much damage. Even if the back Axie got killed, like at that point, the 2 front Axies themselves have the ability to carry the matchup. And that was my upgraded Shiba Fury build. Unlike Season 0, this season I was able to find a lot of great Axies on the marketplace. So shout out to the breeding community, because they are able to really make a lot of these Axies more attainable and affordable for the community. So that's an amazing thing for me. I believe my build will be really strong for a while, but as the season continues and more Mystic, Charms, and Runes come out, things will change a lot. As the season continues, I hope to adapt and really make a competitive effort to be able to play against a lot of these different builds that I'm sure are waiting to come out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. And if you'd like to support me, please use the code down in the description, code Chuck. It appears here on the screen if you like to. Anyways, that ends it for this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys all next time.